That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Back-to-back Trifrost attacks on Gardevoir, taking all 6 prizes with 2 attacks. Whoa, that's too much. That's too much. That's way too strong. This is the Shrouded Fable Regidrago VSTAR deck list that I've been running to great success since it dropped earlier today. We have the 4-3 line of Regidrago V and VSTAR. I've seen a lot of people cut down to a 3-3 line of this to make room for other cards. I can't do it. I cannot cut down to 3 Regidrago V. If you miss a Regidrago V, you just lose. If you don't have Regidrago V and are able to evolve into it the next turn, I think you lose every time. I think I've lost every single time. You're probably going to lose a majority of the time as well. For Regidrago V, if you had to make a cut down to 3, not crazy, but I personally would not do it. I did cut down to 3 Teal Mask Ogerpons. I do run 8 Grass Energy. Most people have cut down to 7 Grass Energy. I cut the Teal Mask Ogerpon for an 8th Grass Energy, and I actually have not missed the 4th Ogerpon. There hasn't been a single game where I've prized 2 or even all 3 of my Ogerpons, and we play enough Pokemon Search, and we dig through our deck aggressively enough that we're going to find 2 or 3 Teal Mask Ogerpons in the first couple of turns. So I just haven't missed the 4th Ogerpon. I know it's really, really strong, but you don't need a 4th Ogerpon. You're never putting more than 3 on your bench anyway. Most of the time, you're only going to get up to 2 on your bench because you want 2 Regidrago V, 2 Teal Mask Ogerpons. Then you want either Mew EX and possibly Hawlucha. If you use Squawkabilly, that also takes up a bench spot. Radiant slot for Radiant Charizard. There's so much stuff you need on your bench that running 3 Teal Mask, it just seems right. It seems like you should run the 3 Teal Mask and 4 Regidrago V, and it works out just fine. If you flip this around, you're going to end up with a whole lot of Teal Mask Ogerpons and no Regidrago Vs to evolve into your V-Star, which is the whole point of the deck. We do run the Raging Bolt over the Giratina. I run a double Super Energy Retrieval in this deck. It allows you just to reach higher numbers than Giratina V-Star. You want to be able to take one-hit knockouts on things such as Gardevoir EX, Charizard EX, just things that have more than 280 hit points. With so many Stage 2s in the deck, you really want to be able to hit that higher number. If you start Raging Bolt, you do have Thorton here. I've gone back and forth between Thorton and also Penny. I like both of the options. I just like having Thorton a little bit more. I like being able to Thorton my Ogerpon into a Regidrago V with 2 energy on it, manually attach a fire energy, and then evolve it to have an attacker ready to go. You can also just swap your Raging Bolt into like a Mew EX or something with 1 retreat cost, and then retreat back down into your Regidrago V-Star. Thorton just seems more versatile. Penny is probably the easier card to play. If they start damaging your basic Pokemon on the bench, you just pick them up. Or if you start one of these basic Pokemon, you just put it back in your hand, and then you can discard it with Ultra Ball or something else. We do run the Kyurem. Trifrost is absolutely broken. There's a few matches where I took all of the prize cards with Trifrost. It's just busted. Absolutely busted. We do run the Radiant Charizard. I was on the Radiant Serena for a little while. There's just not enough matchups where healing 20 damage matters. And the late game Radiant Charizard is so good in this deck, especially in like the mirror match and the Raging Bolt matchup. Raging Bolt's a really, really tough matchup. You really need Radiant Charizard at the end to be able to knock out the Raging Bolt or Teal Mask Ogerpon on their bench. It's just really, really strong. Iron Leaves is my tech card of choice. It's definitely cuttable. The matches where I started Iron Leaves today, I lost. I think I went 1-3 in matches I started Iron Leaves. So when you start Iron Leaves, it's really, really bad. But just having it in your hand is a really good pivot option. If you use Trifrost and the next turn you use 2 Teal Dance abilities and then you put down Iron Leaves, you can pivot it up into the active and put your Regidrago V-Star on the bench instead of just being stuck there. You using Trifrost eliminates all of your energy from your active, and that normally means you're not attacking the next turn unless you have just everything. You have to have everything to be able to be attacking next turn. There's one game I played today where I top deck back-to-back Energy Switch, and that was the only reason I got to attack 2 turns in a row. So having Iron Leaves is just a really, really good card. Really makes the Charizard matchup just easy. I know that the Teal Mask Ogerpon is really good in that matchup as well, but Iron Leaves, it's just kind of doubling down, making sure you don't lose the Charizard. And you can just kind of cheese out some, you know, some good knockouts. A lot of people will play Mew EX, and if they see you're playing Regidrago, they'll just leave the Mew EX in the active for a free pivot next turn, and you can heavily punish that by using Iron Leaves. Does do 180 damage, which knocks out Mew EX, knocks out Squawkabilly, knocks out Lumineon V. It's just a really good attacker. If you go second in the Regidrago V-Star matchup, it feels kind of bad. But if you are able to attack with Iron Leaves, going second, and put on that early game pressure, and then, you know, the next turn, energy switch off the energies, and then you have the 1 retreat cost. There's just so many different ways you can use Iron Leaves to accelerate the game and take early prize cards and to take late prize cards. You can, you know, Prime Catcher up a Mew EX, Squawkabilly, you can any of the low HP 2 prize Pokemon, and you could just close out the game with Iron Leaves. It's just another, you know, closer or an early game attacker, depending on if you go first or second. And it's a good pivot option for when you use Trifrost and you have no energy on your Regidrago V-Star. We do run the Canceling Cologne. The Canceling Cologne is so good in so many matchups. It's not just for turning off Manaphy to use Trifrost. It's also good against Corner Mask Ogerpon. It's good against Mimikyu. If you can use Canceling Cologne twice against somebody who's trying to stall you or play Mimikyu, normally you're going to be able to get through that Mimikyu or that Ogerpon with Canceling Cologne. Just make sure you save your Legacy Star attack or ability for use with Canceling Cologne, and you also just want to be very, very careful with Legacy Star when you're playing against Stall in general. You want to be able to bring back Prime Catcher, Canceling Cologne, Thorton, Boss's Orders, these type of cards to actually win that matchup. You can keep continuing to put damage counters on your opponent's bench. I've gotten down to just Regidrago V-Star board states, and then right when I'm about to win, I have the game lined up, Accompanying Flute, they grab 3 basics out of my deck, and they use Counter Catcher, and I think they brought up Kyurem, and it's just game over. So, you know, aggressively put stuff in your discard pile, but sometimes they just get a hold of your stuff with Accompanying Flute, which should be banned. It is busted and completely unfair to play against. Yeah. It's a terrible card. Terrible card. But you want to get rid of your basics as obviously as quickly as you can to make it so Accompanying Flute doesn't just win the game. Stall's still pretty sketchy, but with all of these pivot options and also just having Canceling Cologne, it's definitely a winnable matchup. The new Stadium card makes it kind of also difficult. Just Stall. It is not played enough for you to heavily tech against and lose other matchups because your deck is inconsistent because you want to beat Stall. That's all I'm going to say about it. Sometimes you just have to take the loss to a very, very small percentage deck like Stall and just have a good matchup into everything else. Regidrago V-Star has a good matchup into absolutely everything in the format right now. I have not found a bad matchup other than the mirror match going second. The mirror match going second, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible, especially when they get that turn 2 attack. Only playing the one Night Stretcher. Super Energy Retrieval is so much stronger than Night Stretcher. You want to be able to aggressively get your energies back. You're playing Squawk and Seize, you're playing Ultra Ball, you're playing Professor's Research, you're going through tons of energy. You play Trifrost, you need Super Energy Retrievals. Night Stretcher, I am very, very close to just cutting Night Stretcher and putting back into Super Rod. There's so many scenarios where I just want the Super Rod. The Super Rod is much stronger than the Night Stretcher. I think there's only been one game I've played where Night Stretcher has actually been better than Super Rod. Every other game, I think that when I played Night Stretcher, I've actually would have preferred to have played Super Rod in that scenario. Overall, good deck list. One cuttable card, Iron Leaves. That's my personal tech card. I just enjoy playing with it for the early game pressure, the pivot option, and the basically free Charizard matchup. It also helps against Roaring Moon, which has gotten really popular. Let me know what you guys think of the deck list down in the comments. Let's get into some games. Yeah, we discard the Kyurem with the Vessel. Energy switch up from the Ogerpon. And we take out their only 3 Pokemon in play with Trifrost. Might help if I could actually say it. This card is busted. Like, if you don't get Manaphy down and you have 3 or less Pokemon on your board with less than 110 HP, you could just lose. Just like that. 100% get Manaphy. Manaphy was more important there than the Pidgey and the Dreepy, because you just don't want to lose. Like, you could lose to the turn 2 Kyurem attack like that. Turn 2 Kyurem attack is kind of unlikely, I'm not going to lie. I haven't been getting it as consistently as I thought I would. But, yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? 3 prize turn. Only have 3 Pokemon in play. That is a Kyurem donk right there. All right, our opponent chose to go second, which is great for us because we always want to go first. I don't think there's a single matchup where we want to go second. And this starting hand is really, really bad. Outside of the fact we have our full board set up, we really need a lot off of this Squawk and Seize, I think. Let's see what we can get. All right, we're going to Earthen Vessel first. We're going to grab Grass Fire. Going to Ogerpon to start. Looks like we're going to be benching almost everything here. We're going to attach the Fire Energy. And I would like to hold the Regidrago, but we really need to see some more cards here. We're going to go ahead and play the E-Switch. We are playing Gardevoir, so there's a good chance we're going to get hit with an Iono next turn. And we do have the Night Stretcher to pull back out the V-Star if we need it. And that's basically it. Overall, a good turn. I mean, we got our full bench set up without using any Nest Balls. We all had them all in our hands. Starting the Squawkabilly, pulled that together for sure. Without the Squawkabilly, without the Squawkabilly, we could have been in trouble. All right, they got the Manaphy down right away. So we're going to need the Canceling Cologne Prime Catcher play, or Boss's Orders, if we want to be able to use Kyurem in this matchup. There's the Artisan. Probably for another Ralts. Yep. We may Ultra Ball for the Dragapult before we hit the Professor's Research. We're probably grabbing Earthen Vessel TM Evo right here. Or there's a Bdif Puffin. Maybe they have the energy in hand already. There's Monkey Dory. The Puffin's probably going to get one more Ralts. And then probably going to TM Evo up 2 of these Ralts here. That's all blurry. Are they not going to bench another Ralts? They did not bench another Ralts. Interesting play. It does take these Ralts out of range of our Dragapult with Hawlucha. We may actually just go after the Mimikyu here if we're able to. Let's see what we can come up with. We definitely need to grab Dragapult here. No, yeah, we have an E-Switch in the discard pile, so we should be able to start attacking here pretty quick. We don't need the Night Stretcher for anything. Just go ahead and research, see what we come down with. This is all right. We're what, 2 cards away from the we need Prime Catcher and we need Kyurem, right? To do a board wipe. There's Prime Catcher. Can we get the Kyurem? There's the E-Switch. I think we have it. I think with being able to pull out all 2 cards, we have it. We have Mew for the free retreat. I think we have the Kyurem play here online. Let's go ahead and hit Legacy Star and grab the pieces we need to make it happen. All right, we're going to... We really need the Hawlucha this game, but we also need all of these other cards to make this play happen. So we're going to dump Hawlucha just so we can grab the Kyurem. I really want to do the Kyurem play here. And then we have Super Energy Retrieval next turn to kind of keep things going. All right, we got the Prime Catcher, Canceling Cologne Kyurem play on turn 2 against Gardevoir. This might just be a concede angle from them. Do we take out the Monkey Dory here? Or do we take out the Manaphy? I think we just take out the Manaphy, and maybe we get another Trifrost attack off if they don't have a Super Rod. That's about the best turn 2 you can have. We are going to struggle to continue to play the game here, depending on what we get off our prize cards. With the Virizion being in... I'm not the Virizion. The Iron Leaves being in the discard pile, we don't have any free ways to pivot up. But I think our opponent may be so far down with that play. Sometimes that Trifrost attack doesn't even seem that strong. So we don't really have much of a follow-up here, do we? We would need quite a bit to even start attacking again. And they've already got back double Ralts here. There's the Flutter Mane. We're going to use Super Energy Retrieval. Pull back some of these energies. Good play by our opponent. Just pushing up the Flutter Mane, turn off abilities. We've already used our V-Star power, so it's not going to help too much. We might have just been in a better board state if we would have just went with Dragapult there. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. You guys think we should have just went with a Dragapult attack there? There's the E-Switch, so we will be attacking next turn. Double. I was looking at the discard pile. I didn't even see the double E-Switch pop out. Oh my gosh. Is this another Trifrost play? 2 Trifrosts in a row. The luckiest top decks ever right there. This is just game. Oh, wow. Wow. Not getting that Manaphy back. Kyurem attack. Back-to-back turns for the win here. That feels disgusting. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Back-to-back Trifrost attacks on Gardevoir, taking all 6 prizes with 2 attacks. Whoa, that's too much. That's too much. That's way too strong. Wow. Absolutely crazy. Oh my gosh. I guess if you wanted to showcase on how strong Regidrago can be, that's it right there. Noah! Holy crap! I am still just, I have chills. Back-to-back Trifrost attacks with Regidrago VSTAR, taking all 6 prizes in 2 turns. Ugh. I can't even like begin to explain how crazy that was. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what we're playing here. All right, we're going to go first. Always want to go first with this deck. That's the optimal way for us to start a game. Starting with a mulligan, not so optimal. I have not missed the 4th Ogerpon yet. There has not been... Maybe I've missed the 4th Ogerpon now. But I have not missed the 4th Ogerpon so far, to be honest. All right, they just got 2 extra cards there. Jirachi. What are we playing? All right, Never Punished. That was a pretty weak turn there. Not gonna lie, that's a little underwhelming after last turn. All right, we got Bdif down. There's the Poffin. We'll see what we're playing here. What are we playing? Charizard. All right, we have Iron Leaves in hand, unfortunately. It seems to happen all the time. Every time we play Charizard, we end up having to discard this with one of our first opening hands. I'm not sure why they attached the energy there. Charge energy. Oh. I've never seen that. I've honestly never seen this attack used before, but I guess it works if you don't have anything else. All right. We do have an attack here guaranteed. We could just push up Virizion, honestly. Let's see what we can get off of Teal Dance before we make that decision, though. I think we just hit the research. If we could take out the Pidgey and the Charmander this turn, I think we just win. There's the Prime Catcher and the V-Star and the Dragapult. Absolutely everything that we could have possibly wanted right there. We even have the Night Stretcher for an energy. That's disgusting. All right, let's grab the Mew for the free retreat. Glad the Mew's not prized. Let's just go ahead and... We're going to actually use Legacy Star here. Oh, that was bad. Was that all of our Regidragos? It was all of our Regidragos. So we have to take one Regidrago V-Star. That was bad. All right, we're going to prime up the Pidgey. I think we're just going to do the Dragapult attack here. We could go after the Kyurem pretty aggressively, but I don't think that's the correct play. We're going to go ahead and establish another Drago here. Retreats. And we'll be hitting turn 2 Regidrago with Phantom Dive. This is by far the better Dragapult deck. Deck's been performing really well the last 2 matches. 2 turn, 6 prizes, and then this time we have taken out their Pidgey and their Charmander. They have no way to attack next turn. I mean, they can use the Charge Energy again, but that's not a whole lot. Let's see if they grab the Manaphy here. There's the Manaphy. Doesn't do a whole lot. Just makes it so we can't take 3 prizes next turn, basically. We could top deck a boss and Canceling Cologne, go that route, but I don't know if they're going to even get another attacker down. They only have 60 HP Charmanders. It's kind of a free match whenever they only have the 60 HP Charmanders, not going to lie. There has been a big surge in Roaring Moon, so having the Roaring Moon, capability of being knocked out with Heat Tackle is pretty valuable, but I still think you want to use the 70 HP Charmanders right now. Crazy. These last 2 games have been absolutely... Yeah, this is over. Surprised they haven't conceded, to be honest. All right, we're going to Teal Dance, attach the Fire Energy to our other Drago. With them only having the 60 HP Charmanders, there's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do here. I think it's just... I don't see a way for them to come back. I'm just going to hold the hand. We could have discarded some cards with Ultra Ball, but I don't think it's necessary. With them playing the 60 HP Charmanders, if they were playing the 70 HP Charmanders, then we wouldn't have taken the knockout on their Charmander on the bench. We would have had to bring that Charmander up and then go after the Pidgey. But in that circumstance, we wouldn't have taken a knockout if they were playing the 70 HP Charmanders, and then they would have a chance to get a Charizard. Yeah, there's just nothing they can do. Turn 2 Phantom Dive. This round, last round we had turn 2 Trifrost and turn 3 Trifrost. Regidrago VSTAR, best deck in format.